30 Rockers, and welcome back to 30 Rock. Today is day 123, and it was a fantastic day. Spent my day working and in meetings. The kids, for the most part, are all feeling better. I've got another one now that's not feeling 100%, but I think he'll be better tomorrow. So something going around the house a little bit, but me and my gigantic green juices are getting through just fine. So maybe I'll have to put all the kids on my green juice as well. One of the things that I'm finding right now about my green juice is that it is certainly, it fills me up. I'm eating less food than I was before I started the green juice, but it doesn't satisfy that that desire to chew. I find myself, I've been trying to cut out the nuts, and today there was a fresh batch of Goji Trail, which has nuts in it and a lot of other good things as well, and I just was drawn to it. And I was even, after I was full of green juice, I was even just nibbling on this stuff, and not because I was hungry, but this desire to chew. I know that people go on juice fasts out there, and I think that that's going to be, for me anyway, it would be a very challenging piece, is that non-chewing. And just like anything else, I'm sure that for a duration, you can train yourself to be able to deal with that. But I'm amazed at my hunger being curbed, but the desire to chew stuff is really pretty high. One of the things I wanted to comment about today was I appreciated so much the comment that my Journey to Raw made about my vertebrae being wonky. It made me smile. And one of the things that made me smile about it is that that's exactly really how I look at it. I told you a little bit about what the diagnosis was yesterday, and as I was reading through this, I think that sometimes precision is very important in the medical world, and I think that we can all appreciate that. And at the same time, when you need a dictionary to look up the word that you just looked up in a different dictionary, things get a little bit crazy. And one of the things is, it says characterized by subchondroital sclerosis and hypertrophic spurring. And I went, okay, I guess I need to figure out what that means. For my purposes and what I'm doing, I need to know, is there something I need to do, or is it wonky? And through diet and exercise, can I overcome this? And one of the things that I've been talking about is, just recently here is, what's the difference between, eating a raw foods diet, a vegetarian diet, a vegan diet, the SAD diet, and there's lots of different things out there, and I've been trying to get some products together just to go through ingredients, because that's kind of one of my things lately. And some of the things that I started looking up, I think that in the food world, they like to use terms like wonky too, except for they use terms like natural, and there's these just huge definitions of what natural means. Natural flavorings is kind of a scary concept of what all that can mean, and what is so, there's not a lot natural about a natural flavoring, or there doesn't have to be. It can be very unnatural by the time they're done with it. And looking up TVPs, which is in a lot of vegetarian food, which is a textured vegetable protein, and looking at, what are these things, if we're trying to eat healthy, and if we think that vegetarianism is going to help, I think you have to be very careful with that. A Cheeto is vegetarian. It's not vegan, but it is vegetarian, and I've talked about this before, that a life of Cheetos and Cokes is probably not going to lead to a life of health. But one of the things that kind of got me going down this road was, as I was looking at, the food that I'm eating, and being able to name it, and looking at what it does for me, and saying, okay, so if I want to, if I'm craving fish or steak, do I find a vegetarian meat-like substance, a fake meat substance to try to cure that craving? Or do I go and do I have wild-caught salmon? Or do I go and have farm-raised beef? What are my options there? What's going to be best for my health? And so I started looking at that from, what is the product made of? No side agenda here, nothing other than what's actually the better product. And I'm still trying to determine that. Now, there are ethical reasons why a lot of people choose not to eat animals. Now, I'm not in that particular boat. So for me, it doesn't come down to ethics, but it does come down to which is going to really be better for my health in moderation, if and when I choose to do that. And so right now I'm just looking into that and looking at, some of these things are so laden with soy and soy proteins and TVPs and quote unquote natural flavorings that I can't identify and I don't know what they are. And you can look at, fish caught out of a high mercury content lake, and that's got bad stuff in it too. So maybe that means the best route is to stay to, as organic as possible, and raw foods, and that's it. I do think there's other alternatives. Right now on my own journey, I thought, why don't I look at this now before I find myself really faced with the situation of I want to make some of these choices and I want to incorporate these things, and have just been really fascinated by what's really out there as food. The sad food American diet, the standard American diet, that one was really obvious as far as all the junk that is in so many of the foods and the fast foods and the processed foods. And so to see on the vegetarian side of things that same thing is happening, and some of it's just named wonky, like natural flavors or a TVP. But as far as what they have to do to create this TVP and what does that processing really mean for our bodies, I've yet to figure out. So it's something that I'm looking into. Also would love to hear from you guys that have done juice fasting or feasting, and I'm not doing that, but juice is a huge part of my diet right now. And what do you do? I mean, do I need to go out and buy stock in Wrigley's and just go and buy a big thing of gum to conquer that want to chew? Because I don't want to be eating a bunch of nuts and things like that, because I don't think I need to right now. But this desire to chew is really very big and very prevalent. So any advice that you can offer, I certainly would appreciate. As always, thank you so much for your support out there. It really does mean a lot to me. And until tomorrow, keep making great choices and rock on.